In an abandoned warehouse in a small town in Colorado, Trevor dances with his girlfriend Nina while his friend Kyle kisses a girl he just met. Kyle coughs up blood, but the girl keeps kissing him anyway. Trevor and Nina are disgusted and move to another room where something moves in the shadows. The next morning, the town wakes up to find the military has set up a 24-hour quarantine. The roads are blocked and nobody can leave or enter. A traffic jam builds up and people argue with soldiers because no explanation is given. One couple is desperate to leave because their son is sick and they want to reach a hospital in the city. Corporal Sarah convinces them to take the boy to the local hospital instead, telling them the army has brought specialists. She then asks Captain Rhodes if the specialist's story is true, and he tells her to shut up and follow orders. At the radio station, a soldier watches DJ Paul to make sure he passes the right information to the public. Back at the warehouse, Trevor is startled by something in the shadows, but it turns out to be Nina. He says it is time to leave, and Kyle's nose starts bleeding. Kyle asks his girl to come home with him, but she is worried he is sick and leaves alone. Kyle drives off in Trevor's car, and the girl cuts through the forest. She hears roaring and tries to run, but trips and rolls down into the water. The creature finds her and drags her away. A group of soldiers arrives at the roadblock, and one named Salazar tries to tease Sarah, who puts him to work immediately. She takes another soldier named Crane into town to visit her childhood home. Inside, she finds Trevor and Nina on the couch and scolds them for not answering her calls. Neither of them knows about the quarantine, which makes Sarah angrier because their mother needs constant care. She rushes upstairs and checks on her mother, Francine, who says she just has a cold. Sarah says she is taking her to the hospital. Downstairs, Nina notices she also has a pile of missed calls from her father. Trevor tells Sarah that Francine has been feeling ill since the morning, and Nina mentions Kyle's symptoms. Trevor wants to go check on Kyle, so Sarah tells him to stay home with their mother while she goes. By nightfall, Sarah and Crane reach Kyle's house and find the front door open. Every room is covered in blood, and Kyle is nowhere. When Crane stands near the curtains, two bodies drop on top of him. Kyle's parents, who have been mauled. Sarah tries to call the police, but the phone is dead, so she uses her military radio to call Rhodes. He tells her the phone lines are blocked to stop rumors from spreading and promises to send police to the house. Sarah then picks up Francine, Trevor, and Nina and drives to the hospital. During the ride, Francine's nose starts bleeding. The hospital is packed with patients showing the same symptoms, and the nurse tells Sarah to wait in line. Nina's father is also there, so she and Trevor go to find him. Sarah spots Salazar and other soldiers guarding the hospital and realizes this is not a routine exercise. Rhodes takes Sarah to meet Dr. Logan from the CDC. Logan asks if Kyle's parents had bite marks, and Sarah says yes, but she does not think it was an animal because an animal could not have hidden the bodies behind the curtains. In the waiting room, Crane notices that Francine and many other patients are shaking from cold and goes to tell Sarah and Logan. At the same moment, Nina's father goes through the same thing. A virus tears through his body and he transforms and jumps off the bed to attack his wife, biting her face. At the power plant, two zombies jump a worker and push her against the fence. The shaking and the falling blood cause a short circuit and both zombies catch fire. The plant's machines start failing and the town's lights begin to flicker. Zombies are driving cars through the streets and the vehicles crash, sending a body into the air. At Kyle's house, three officers search the rooms and find a third body with the dead couple. It is Kyle, now a zombie, and he attacks all three officers without caring about their guns. At the radio station, Paul and the guard soldier hear screaming and look out the window to see zombies dragging people away. The soldier runs outside to help, and a group of zombies takes him. Paul sees another zombie coming for him, runs back inside, and locks the door. In the hospital, the backup generators restore the power, and the frozen patients all transform at once. They attack every normal person they can reach. Trevor and Nina run out of her father's room and watch a zombie walk across the ceiling before dropping onto a nurse. More zombies spot the couple and chase them, and they throw every object they can find to slow the creatures down. They make it through the back door and block it with a trash container, but zombies are already outside, so they run and jump the fence. Inside, the chaos gets worse, and almost no humans are left standing. Rhodes runs into an empty corridor and blocks the door, then finds Sarah and she asks about her mother. There is no chance of finding her now. Rhodes opens another door looking for a way out, and a group of zombies pours through. He pushes several off, but there are too many, and he gets taken. Sarah, Logan, and Crane run to find an empty room, and Logan shoves Crane ahead, causing him to drop the car keys. A zombie goes for Crane on the floor, but Sarah pulls him into the room and locks the door. Crane shoves Logan for what he did, and Logan pretends not to know what he means. Sarah and Crane push furniture against the door, and the group looks out the window to see zombies filling the parking lot. Crane has no gun and Sarah's is empty, so she says they need to make Molotovs to distract the zombies and reach a car. Since Crane lost her keys, she decides to go after Rhodes' keys instead. Trevor and Nina run through the forest and find dozens of bodies on the ground. One body snaps at them before going still again. They reach downtown and find the same destruction there. They spot someone alive inside the radio station and wait for the street to clear before running to the door. They pound on it, and a zombie hears the noise and sprints toward them, but Paul opens the door and pulls them inside. In the main room, they find the couple from earlier, who tells them their son is dead. The wife starts coughing, but claims it is a cold from before everything started. Paul coughs too, and Nina is not sure whether to trust them. Trevor gets on the radio equipment and broadcasts their location and warns people to stay away from the hospital. The message plays through a car radio, and Francine, now a zombie, hears it. Sarah and Crane crawl through the vents as fast as they can, while zombies grab for them through the grills. They find the room with Rhodes' body, and Sarah drops down, and a figure bursts out of the cabinet and grabs her. She fights back and finds it is Salazar, who hid before things went bad. They take the keys and climb back into the vents. They do not notice Rhodes waking up as a zombie and eating his own eye. Rhodes grabs Sarah's leg and uses her as a counterweight to pull himself into the vent despite having no legs. Sarah kicks his face until he lets go and moves faster. In another section of the vent, zombies beat the shaft with mops and tools until the metal breaks and Sarah's legs fall through the hole. They reach for her feet and Rhodes is closing in, but Salazar comes back and drags her out just in time. The group rushes back to Logan's room, and when Crane tries to close the vent, Rhodes appears and bites his hand. Sarah grabs bleach and pours it over the wound to disinfect it. Salazar draws his gun and gets ready to shoot, but Sarah blocks him, and Logan says the bleach has a chance to work. Rhodes keeps making noise in the vent, and Salazar shoots him in the head. Sarah promises she will kill Crane herself if he turns, so Salazar lowers the weapon. The group makes weapons out of whatever they find in the room, and Sarah takes one of Salazar's guns. Crane smashes the window with a chair, and they drop down to the outside. A zombie appears, and Sarah shoots, but nothing happens, so Salazar teaches her that only a headshot works. More zombies move in, and the soldiers fight together while Logan just watches. Their handmade tools work well, and all the zombies around them go down. Then, the zombies inside the hospital start jumping through the windows too. The soldiers keep fighting, taking down zombies by smashing or cutting off their heads. Logan slips away to his own car, and a woman begs him for help. He shoves her into a zombie to buy himself time and drives away. The others curse his name, but more zombies are closing in. They hide behind a car and throw Molotovs, and a wall of fire starts burning through the horde. They run to Rhodes' car and clear out the remaining zombies before getting in. More creatures grab at the car as Sarah accelerates and shakes them off. The group drives through town and sees destruction everywhere. They find a gun store, and Sarah ties Crane to the seat before going in with Salazar. By the time they come back loaded with weapons, Crane has turned. Salazar wants to shoot him, but Sarah says Crane is restrained and harmless, so they drive away before more zombies close in. At the radio station, a zombie climbs the emergency ladder, and Trevor drops a TV on its head. He goes back inside, and Nina shows him a trash can full of bloody tissues. She grabs a knife and demands the adults confess who is bleeding, but they blame each other. Paul freezes and starts to turn, and a panicking Nina stabs him in the head. Trevor gets back on the radio and broadcasts another message. The soldiers hear Trevor's voice, and Sarah turns the car around, running over every zombie in her way to save time. At the station, Trevor spots Francine outside and runs out to her against Nina's warnings. Francine is too far gone and tries to attack him, but Sarah arrives and runs her over. Trevor is devastated, and Sarah has to remind him that was not their mother anymore. Nina goes upstairs to tell the old couple they are leaving and finds the room empty. She looks behind the couch and finds the husband dead. The wife, now a zombie, tackles her from behind, and Nina fights her with every object in the room, breaking furniture as she goes. Trevor runs in, and they fight the zombie together and push her through the window. Salazar and Sarah shoot her the moment she hits the ground. The gunfire scares off the zombies near the gate, and the group gets into the car. On the drive, Salazar wonders out loud why Crane has not attacked anyone, and Sarah remembers Crane is a vegetarian. Salazar keeps mocking and threatening Crane anyway. They reach the roadblock and find the remaining soldiers have all turned. One reaches inside the car, and Trevor gets out and shoots it. Salazar and Sarah join him, and they clear as many as they can, but the zombies keep coming, so they get back in the car and drive away. Trevor tells them about the warehouse, and Sarah drives through the woods. Kyle runs between the trees and jumps on the hood, smashing through the front window. The group fights to keep his mouth away from them while the car keeps rolling and slams into a tree. Kyle gets wedged between the trunk and the broken glass, and Sarah shoots him in the head. The group continues on foot with Crane in tow. Salazar threatens and insults Crane the whole way, and by the time they reach the warehouse, Crane snaps. He starts shouting to give away their position, and a group of zombies breaks through the doors and walls. The group opens fire, but there are too many, so Trevor leads them downstairs to a bunker. A few zombies try to follow, but the group shoots them them back and seals the metal door. They open a door at the back and find a full research facility. They check the computers, but whoever was there deleted everything before leaving. They hear a noise, and Sarah and Salazar search every room until they find Logan destroying the last of the evidence. They hold him at gunpoint, and Logan explains he is part of a project called Wildfire, which studied biochemical agents. He says the project is not behind the virus, but Trevor cuts him off. He has found a video file. The recording shows a scientist confessing that the virus they built to use against foreign troops mutated and escaped, forcing him to kill his infected colleagues. The video ends when the scientist transforms and destroys the camera. A roar echoes nearby, and the group leaves the office to find the scientist, now a zombie. They shoot at him until he gets scared and escapes through the vents. Salazar and Sarah chase him, but he is already gone. A different zombie attacks Salazar, and he decapitates it. They return to the others and shoot into the vents every time they hear movement. Logan does not know where the emergency exits are, but Salazar recognizes the bunker layout from the war and says they need to find the missile silos. As they walk the corridors, the scientist reaches down from above and takes Logan, kills him, and throws the body in front of the group. They speed up, but after a long search, they still cannot find the silo, so they split up to cover more ground. Sarah and Salazar find the silo first and get through the first door without problems. The corridor leads them to a room full of zombies. Both soldiers open fire, but the zombies swarm Salazar and knock him down. He tells Sarah to go, and the creatures start on him. Sarah runs, and Trevor pulls her into a safe room. Inside, she finds missile propulsion tanks, and the siblings build large flamethrowers together. Sarah goes back into the corridor to pull the Horde's attention, and the scientist appears behind her and grabs her. Crane reveals himself in the crowd of zombies and opens fire until he runs out of bullets. The scientist lets go of Sarah and runs to kill Crane. Sarah shoots a zombie to get the Horde chasing her again and sprints down the corridor. The zombies follow, and when they reach the door, Trevor and Nina hit them with the flamethrowers. The fire fills every corner of the facility and burns every zombie to the ground. The trio climbs out of the silo and finds Logan's car. They drive away and hear on the radio that the virus is fully contained. Then a zombie steps onto the road ahead of them.